What you see right here is a Casablanca Panama. This is an earlier Panama with Slumber Quiet and technically called the Panama 5. The reason Panamas were originally called Panama 5s is because this was Casablanca's 5-bladed model before 5 blades became mainstream, and that option was offered with all of their models. In 1981 and 82, the Panama would still come with a 4-blade flywheel like any other model, but it also came with a 5-blade adapter ring that you could attach to the flywheel. And the irons it was offered with were either the 2-inch Zephyr kind or the stub 4 Seasons kind. I believe it was buyer's choice. Then in 1983, they switched things around a bit. They started giving the fans 5-blade only flywheels and giving them the 1-inch arm irons that Panamas would carry all the way up until the model was redesigned, I believe in the 2010s or so. As you can guess based on what I just said, this is a 1983 model, as it has a 5-blade only flywheel and the 1-inch arm irons. Has golden oak blades. And the finish on this is charcoal black and antique brass, a rather uncommon combination. Start off demonstrating the light. The fitter did not come with this fan. I took this off of a charcoal black Delta I have. Thought it looked very nice on here. The globe, I believe, originally came off of a 4 Seasons. And the tassel, I don't even remember where that came from. But I just thought it was interesting because it's a red tassel. Now we'll start the fan up, as slow as the Slumber Quiet can go. Fan has that nice aesthetic low to it that everybody and their grandma goes crazy for. Turn it up a little. The early version of the Panama, the Slumber Quiet models in other words, were offered in a number of different finish combinations that no other version of the Panama ever got. Black and antique brass is one of which, however there are many different combinations too, such as black and polished brass, brown and polished brass, brown and antique brass, white and polished brass, and white and antique brass. I believe the only finish combos from that carried over to the IntelliTouch Panamas were white and polished brass and maybe white and antique brass. Turn it up some more. Additionally, later on, the Slumber Quiet Panamas also got straight polished brass and straight antique brass. However, initially, I think this fan was strictly for finish combinations. And just a little side note, when I say white, I mean antique white, as that was the only white Casablanca offered back at that time. I apologize if my shirt, arm, and or shoulder is getting in the shot. It's a bit of a narrow crevice back here that I'm filming from. Tiny bit of motor hum, tiny bit of dry bearing noise, but other than that, the fan is very quiet. I gotta say, while I'm not usually the biggest fan of finish combinations, I usually just like a fan straight one finish, I do like the charcoal black and antique brass finish combination. It is one of my favorites. I think it's because they're both more darker, like low-key finishes. They kind of blend together well. Unlike something like charcoal black and polished brass, where I feel like the two clash because one's dark and one's more bright. Okay, full speed. Fan has a little bit of wobble. And there you go, a black and antique brass Slumber Quiet Panama.